alive. For you I'm awake, swallowing you. Mm-hmm. Good day, Rusty. What's up, amazing Amanda? I'm doing okay. Trying anyway. I mean, Rusty Dog says, "Good day, Amanda. Glad you think I'm handsome." Yeah, that would be one long distance relationship. And amazing Amanda says, "Lol, love you, Rusty Dog." Well, I think there's kind of an age difference there, but I mean, hey. But she's infatuated with me. Hey, if Rusty can get down to Washington, well, I don't know how it would be to Australia. If Rusty can get to you in Washington, I wouldn't turn him down. You know, he could be as jacked as a kangaroo. Nine people. What should I? Should I come up with like a theme or something for these lives? Because people keep saying, "What's this live about?" And it's like not really anything. You know. Got my bitter melon gourd tea here, which is for my diabetes. Amazing Amanda, they do that to me too. Oh, what's this life about? It's always a good question, though, isn't it? What is life about? Life is like the flutter of wings. Lear, have you ever blown one online? Don't know what you mean by blown one. Amazing Amanda always says her lives are about sex, so if you stay. Um, Commander Thorn, life is like a box of chocolates. Juicy says, "Hi, baby." He must be talking to Amanda. Kiakaha, good day, Rich. How are you, mate? Hanging in there. I'm not as productive as I'd like to be. My demons are acting up, but other than that, I have a kitty at my feet, and he's purring. Taylor Beeman gives me the alien. Commander Thorn, your demons? Yes, my demons. Amazing Amanda. Well, I am talking fire, fire, fire. Um, Commander Thorne, I once went to see a psychologist, and I gave him my life story up to that point. My demons are my demons. The demons up here. As I said, I went to a psychologist and I told him my life story up to that point, and he said, "Wow, it is amazing you were this functional." His take on the subject is that normally people who have been through the kind of things that I've been through um, belong in a mental institution. And I have to be completely honest with you. I don't know if I don't belong in a mental institution. You know, I have trouble regulating. You know, but then a lot of us do. Yeah. Tyler, that's just nasty. Kia kaha, hang in there. We made love. The lives get some more food review. Kraken, you'll be all right, mate. Um, Kia kaha, you do know that food reviews are on Random Street Theater, not on this channel. Normally, every now and again, I could cock something weird, and that is why I put it on this channel. But for the most part, reviews are for Random Street Theater. Commander Thorne, you're still going because you're strong, mate. Keep being strong. Well, Thorne, if what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, I should be able to easily move the world. Juicy, but it seems like you have a degree of comedy. Try stand up or America's Got Talent. Okay. Bruh, have you ever watched Kingsman? No, I have not. I just watched the film Piglet, but I haven't filmed my review for it yet. Which, eh. Liquid Diet. Hello, Richard. How are you doing this evening? I'm hanging in there. I really wish YouTube paid better because, you know, Savage Fox says hello. Savage Fox, are you new here? I don't remember you. Fade. Baron Fade, the Spielberg Taken TV show was good. Okay. Clark Kent, what is the meaning and purpose to life? That's something you can only answer for yourself, Clark. Commander Thorne, just keep doing the things you love. Focus on those and things will improve. You know, I've been going through this my whole life and things have not improved. Savage Fox, yes, I'm new here. Well, good to have you. Being I have a broad community of people, they will probably start making jokes about my third chin soon. Or say that I look like Peter Griff and Chris Farley or some other fat white man. Clark Kent, victim mentally over or victim mentality. Or victor mentally or victim mentality. Savage Fox, that's mean. Yes, people are mean to me. I'm an adult. I can take it. You know. But Clark, in tarot cards, there's a particular card that speaks to me, and that's the card of the Tower. And Savage Fox, as long as you don't truly accept those mean insults, I will subscribe and like. We live within. Look, Savage, I worked at a homeless shelter, for 4 years in Los Angeles and 2 years in Anaheim. And the things that were said to me were so brutally evil. They're almost as bad as the things that are said to me now by Hamas supporters who have told me that my people will be exterminated. So I'm pretty tough, I mean, sticks and stones, man. Rusty Dog, the meaning of life is to love one another. Not a bad meaning. Clark Kent, do not seek after tarot and readings, for I am the Lord your God. Leviticus 19. Paul, Rusty Dog, hey Paul. Savage Fox, good, don't accept the insults. Fate is correcting Clark on his biblical knowledge, and Savage Fox is something like. Thank you. But look, tarot cards or divination cards do not see the future. If they do, it's in the sense of the Oracle of Delphi, where the Oracle was always considered right. Fade. 44, as for the male and female slaves whom you may have, it is from the nations around you that you may acquire male and female slaves. 45. You may also acquire them from among the aliens resident within. Savage Fox, you were so nice, thank you. Paul, best taco spot in... I wouldn't know. I live in a suburb. Okay, Fade and Clark are having biblical debates. Savage Fox, you were very handsome. I would probably look better if I lost a good 150 pounds. But as I was saying, the tower in tarot is a dilapidated tower often wreathed in fire. And the tower, as many cards in tarot, can be seen one of two ways. One, that it is taken a beating and falling apart. And the other, that it has survived and is still standing. So, I kind of see myself as the tower. I have survived and I'm still standing. Savage Fox, thanks for the compliment, Paul, but you are wrong. What did Paul say? Paul says, fine, question mark. Rusty Dog, Fox is underage then. Fox is 14? How old are you, Fox? Everybody wants to know. Trouble Boy, sometimes you come across a guy who don't know WTF he's talking about. This is that guy. Troubled, I'm sorry to hear that you don't know what you're talking about. Me, I'm actually quite worldly. The Blue Baron says good morning. Paul says, what fine Kent? Clark Kent, whoever looks upon a woman to... more biblical quotes. Matthew 5. Savage Fox is 28 years old with 5 kids. Wow. Brought a lot of life into this world. Paul says, damn, Fox. Yeah, Rusty dog, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Hey, it's a train. And it seems to be that the soothing light at the end of your tunnel is just a freight train coming your way. Trouble boy, worldly as in you've explored every corner of your mom's basements, scrounging for scraps. You know, my mother didn't have a basement. Uh, Very few houses in LA have them, in fact. Savage Fox, I'm also married, going through a divorce. Sorry to hear that, Savage. I mean, you know, the Blue Baron, Britain gave Israel to the Jews. Britain promised Israel to the Jews, didn't necessarily give it. Paul, looking for a sugar... Richard... Paul, I don't get what you're saying there. Clark Kent, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want lust. Psalms 23. Baron is Fade is saying cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys. Not going there, Fade. I'm not going there. It's just too gross. The Blue Baron, Me Too Savage. Vicarlus 666. I'm gonna bust like a foogie? Okay. Clark Kent, Jesus Christ loved and prayed for very one who were crucified him and killed him. Luke. The Blue Baron, yes, Britain did. Savage Fox, what's that lol? You have to be more specific, Fox. Comments get passed. Oh, guest. What is that on your screen? This is a close-up of the dry flowers of a weed. I don't know if I have any... Yeah. Yeah. See? Yeah, there we go. Dandelions. I took that picture at night. Paul, Peter Pan. The Blue Baron. Thanks, Savage. I am sorry to hear you're going through it, too. Oh, man, I think Clark and Fade are in love. Yeah, for those of you who may be new to my channel, I have 6 blogs. Okay, not all of them are currently posting, but I have 6 blogs. This is photographs of a Mad Richard. And, you know, I often do close-ups and false colors in order to... See, here's what that that looked like originally. You know, you just have some dried weeds and there's a lamp in the background. And that original picture was just a close-up of this area. You know, one of the things I do as a photographer is I find beauty in the mundane. You know, so most people would pass this weed and just be like, oh, it's a weed. But I see so much more. I see life. I see death. I see structures. I see reproduction. I saw a lonely knight on duty. And that's the world, you know? So much can be there in a simple dying plant. Savage Fox. Sometimes I'm called 16, but 14 is a new record. Uh, what is your zodiac? I'm a Sagittarius. What a coincidence. So am I. Early December. You know, Savage, somebody in one of my videos said, the way you drink, you'll never make it to 30. And I said, I'm 45. Best compliment I got all week. Paul, Superman loves Mohammed. Weird. Savage Fox, happy belated birthday. Okay. Bear, are you still down there? Fade, Clark Kent. Judging people now, wasn't there something in your tome about that being blasphemy? Judge not, lest ye be judged. Let those of you who are without sin cast the first stone. Savage Fox, that was a good joke. Clark, if anyone can stand their neighbor, they have committed murder in their heart. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Yeah, well, my neighbors all want me dead. So does my family. Troubled Boy, Tales from the Crypt. Oh, this is gonna be a good one, guys. Hold on. Tales from the Crypt tonight, we've got a piece of sentient ham. Troubled Boy, The Outer Limits. The Outer Limits has sentient ham. Tales from the Crypt has evil monsters. Just, I'm Outer Limits. My sister is Tales from the Crypt. God, man, your jokes. They need work. Fade. Clark seems to be a bad Christian. Fade. We don't judge Christians. Clark. Evil people want to judge the perfect word of God all day long, condemn it, and then turn around and be upset when they are judged righteously according to it. Savage Fox, do you go live a lot? I try to go live at least once a day. For an hour. And that is because this channel is not monetized, and I am trying to get it monetized. Ah. I am something like... Yeah, I'm still like 1,700 hours away from monetization. Fade. Clark Kent gotta show your God to the guilty existing. Oh man, those two. Savage Fox, my mother is in heaven now, and she was always judgmental in the worst way to me. Yeah, Savage Fox, my mother passed away before you were born. She died young. On the first day of Hanukkah, a week after my 10th birthday. So, I mean, we have to forgive the dead. Clark Kent, a victim, mentally commits evil and sin and blames others for it. Vicarless, how much booze do you have left? Okay, I have about a half bottle of gin, a bottle of vodka, a third of a bottle of Titanic liquor, 3 shots of bourbon, a bottle of rum, and a couple of beers. So, I mean, I do purchase more of it from time to time. Oh, Rusty Dog, Christians forgive, we don't hold grudges. Rusty Dog, try to be a good Christian. But one of the things I have said to many a Christian is there's this book you should read about Jews. It's called the Bible. Oh. Troubled boy, probably not in heaven then. Savage Fox. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. God bless her soul. Yeah, yes, Fate, she died of cancer. Look, my mother was in a lot of pain, and I wouldn't wish her to suffer that way for another second. Stromboni, tequila or whiskey? Definitely whiskey. And MH wants freshly fried dog. Weirdo. As I said, my mother was in a lot of pain, and I wouldn't wish that pain on anyone. Except maybe my father. He was a real piece of work. But, you know, people say that often when you lose a loved one like that, you feel guilty. Savage Fox, thank you for being nice to me. Mm. Wyatt Frazier, your dad was a good guy. Your mom would know, Wyatt. Anyway, now I forget. Oh, yes. No. As I say, my mother had her demons as well. She did not have a fun life. She lived hard and she died hard. We could all aspire to live the life my mother lived. You know? Savage Fox appreciates everyone here that has been nice to her. Wyatt Frazier, my mom is dead. Yeah, my dad is dead. They're probably both roasting in hell. Rusty Dog, my dad died in my wow. That that's a moment, Rusty. Savage Fox is going to get some sleep. See you next time, Savage. Mm. Wyatt Frazier, would you ever rob a bank? I don't know. I mean, if the circumstances were that robbing a bank would make this world a better place, I would probably do it. I don't think I would ever have the uh, ingenuity or the plan, but. Baron Fade, you mean humans? Yeah, they taste like pork. Clark Kent, if a judge is a good judge, can they let guilty criminals go free without justice? You know, Clark, I hate to break it to you here, but the judge doesn't make that decision most of the time. The jury does. And, you know, yes, a good man would want justice. But how many good men are there? Rusty Dog, the world would be a better place without me in it. I have said that to myself many a time, Rusty. But I mean, I don't know you, so I can't say. Seem like a decent enough man to me. Valentine, you better not be peeing on something. The Korean Fat Man, why don't people buy the Chinese phone book? Because there are so many wings and so many wongs, you might accidentally wing the wong number. Wyatt Frazier, I was on a jar once and I said the man was guilty, a jury once, and I said the man was guilty even though I thought he was innocent. Wyatt, we all know you're a dick, and you all want us to know you're a dick, so, okay. Troy Gomez, what's going on in here? Well, Wyatt's telling all of us that he's a dick. Fade and Clark are arguing about God. If I only could, I'd make a geek. If I only could, I'd make a deal with God and get him to swap our places.
Cóż, są jeszcze blizny, możliwe oddarcia wokół odbytu.
Well, there are still scars, possible abrasions around the anus.
Okay. Wyatt, I used to pull the fire alarm at the hospice. Yes, Fade, that was Polish. And it's about anus. So Wyatt is declaring his dictum. I mean, Wyatt, are you sexually frustrated because if you can't screw people, you screw with people? Clark Kent, Jesus was asked by his disciples why a man was born blind. Jesus said God allowed it by his passive will man to suffer consequences for his own sins. That God could be glorified through his healing. Okay. Turbo 3.0. Ha. FBI says hello. So, Clark, tell me something. What's your take on gay people? Just wondering. Baron Fade. He's still going? Block him. He's just peeing into the wind at this point. Fade, if I blocked people, you would have been blocked a long time ago. Clark Kent, we are more sinful to make it possible, imagine, but we are also more love than we can possibly fathom. Knight, what are you doing? Fade blocked Clark. Wyatt, I drove by a shirtless hiker and quickly went home and drained the hot motor oil out of my car and drove back to in my wife's car and threw the oil at him. We get it. You're a dick. FBI. How are you, Richard? I'm doing all right. Baron Fade. Slow down reading. Yeah, I should. FBI. Read words on it. Clark Kent. No homosexuals will inherit the kingdom of heaven. Corinthians 1 Corinthians 6. Really? Okay. Rusty Dog. I'm writing slowly in case you can't read very fast. This is iced coffee. I do so love iced coffee. I'm pretty partial to hot coffee too, but iced coffee is easier to drink. Troy Gomez. Effin' vodka, man. Clark Kent. True love is all that matters. FBI. How many sugar cubes does Richard put in his coffee? None. He doesn't put cubes. He puts mountains the size of Everest of sugar in his coffee. Paul. True in Jesus. I normally drink it black, actually, at least if it's hot. I was cleaning out my house and I came across an old thing of brown sugar, so that's what's in there. Clark Kent. Vice or virtue, victim or victor, selfish or selfless. Jesus is love itself. Baron Fade. I like my coffee like I like my wrappers, black and tasteless. Uh, many years ago, I had a supervisor that would come by to my post maybe 3 times a week. And I had a coffee maker and I always made coffee. And he said I made the best coffee he had ever tasted. Paul, Jesus is in the cartel. Clark Kent, wrong Jesus. Don't mess with the Jesus man. FBI, I like my shirt like I like my woman, tight and not making a sound and not objecting when I rip them. Okay. Troy Gomez, was the supervisor hitting on you? I don't think so. Was a dude. And he was, well, I don't know. He hung out with this black other dude, so he could have been gay. Clark Kent. Sometimes coffee and food and drink are better when made by someone else than ourselves. To be honest with you, Clark, my favorite chef is myself. I mean, if I could, I would cook every meal I eat. Rusty Dog, do you play like Elvis? No, I do not. My mother was an Elvis fan. Fade, I'm in a big 5-story building alone. I like working in my ivory tower. Yesterday I was in a 12-story building alone, and it was awesome. Clark Kent, very inappropriate. Every person will give an account for every word they ever spoke of on the day of judgment. Jesus Christ. Paul, Wild Randy loves Jubas. Phil S. I just gave birth to two-headed baby calf. Sounds painful. Coken Production says, Sup big man, missed you. Did you really? Did you? Tolan for bait. Will you sell cat? Do you sniff underwear? Coken Productions, will you eat cat? No, I will not eat cat. I would sooner eat human. Rusty Dog, human cannonball got fired. Clark Kent, do you love your cat more than humans? Inordinate affection? If I had to eat one, a dead human or a dead cat, I would consume the human. Paul, Jesus loves cats. Actually, the keeping of cats is of the Norse tradition, and cats are supposed to keep away evil spirits. That is why Christians demonized cats. Clark Kent, cannibalism, really? Yeah. Coken Productions, more meat on a human. See, Coken Productions gets it. I'm also told that humans taste much better, but, Wyatt Frazier, would you ever join a gang? No. Drunken Train, tell us more about Norse cats. I really don't know that much. You have to understand that in England and much of Europe, uh, Christianity took over for the pagan religions. And many of the Christian holidays. Paul, what about Egyptian cats? Egyptians are weird in that regard. So we had one Egyptian dig found thousands of cats that had their necks broken as offerings to a god. So, yeah. Clark Kent, Catholic holiday is not Christian. Yeah. You know what else isn't Christian, Clark? Most Christians. Wyatt Frazier, do you feel bad for cats born in Afghanistan? I feel bad for the suffering of all mankind. And cats. Clark Kent, agreed. Paul, thanks, Clark. Uh, the Korean fat man, Richard, do you happen to know any 18-year-old girls? Don't think so. Clark Kent, Jesus said that the vast majority that prefer to be Christian in the last days will not be. Matthew 7:00. Okay. Drunken Train. I told my mom once when I was a kid that I hated Christmas, and she explained the whole pagan thing, and all of a sudden it was a better holiday. Eh? Look, Drunken Train, I don't celebrate Christmas. And the closest thing I come to celebrating Christmas is making donations to the homeless. Because um, my main goal in life is to ease more suffering than I create. The Korean fat man, Richard, does your siblings have kids? One of my siblings has one child. I have never met him. Rusty Dog, Three Billy Goats Gruff used a moderator to keep the troll away. What I missed there. Phil S., you ever gets fine fat goose? Not sure what you mean there. The Korean fat man, Richard, may I eat your cats? No, you may not. With my dim sum and fried rice, with sushi and ramen dumpling. Which sibling has a kid? Is it the fart sack demon? That could describe either of my siblings. My sister has a kid. She's Satan himself. Ooh, I have a Stormy at my feet. Clark Kent, it sounds like Richard has the gift of compassion. The natural gift is perverted until you are spiritually awakened and you become more of an enabler instead of a helper. Rusty Dog, Santa Claus is a pimp. He has a lot of hoes. Okay. Clark Kent, Satan Claus. You know, Clark, this weekend I took my donations to Sister Margaret. She takes aluminum cans and plastic bottles, and she trades them in to buy food for an orphanage. And the kids won't die without me, but they do eat better with me there. So, take that as it will. Now, the same day I did that, I went to work and I found some plastic bottles in the trash. And I took them out of the trash and I set them in back of the building. And within an hour, a homeless man had picked them up to recycle them. Now, what he does with that 10 cents could be buy drugs. Or it could be buy food. I don't know. Adam S., where are you working at these days, big guy? Primarily in the heart of Los Angeles. Well, downtown, really, but historic district. 10 cents. You live in Oregon like me. No, I live in Los Angeles. Paul, food drugs sound good. Philip S. Stanley is another fine mess you have gotten me into. Adam S. They do 10 cents there too low. It was 2 bottles. I don't know. I could be wrong about the redemption. I don't know. Looks like I spilled some of my drink on my watch. Luckily, I have some napkins here. But the point being is that I'm not judgmental of people. I let them live their lives. Clark Kent, I work with the homeless on the streets, and this is why I give them what they need instead of what they want. I don't give them money because it will enable them to destroy themselves, but I give needs. Again, Clark, it is better to offer a homeless person an opportunity to work than to simply give them direct relief. But I've seen homeless men get a job, get their first paycheck, get so blasted they can't stand up, and then lose their job. Coken Productions, is it normal for my uncle to cuddle me at night? Yes, it's perfectly normal. Adam S., the hobos all move here to Oregon because their salaries automatically double. Rusty Dog. 2 pot smokers got divorced and got joint custody. Yeah. Wyatt Frazier, my uncle sneaks into my bedroom at night. And you sneak into his pants. Phil S. Oliver Hardy wore a Hitler mustache. Something just happened weird to my computer. The Hitler mustache, for those of you that don't know, is a gas mask mustache. You shave the sides so that you can still get a gas mask on. That's why Hitler kept it that way, because he was injured by gas in the First World War. Literal trash. My uncle still cuddles me too. I thought I was the only one. Whoa. Cool to see similar people. Clark Kent, I have also seen homeless people that could not work because of their bad health, and they used to help that they got to better themselves, and they were thankful and grateful for it, giving them thanks to God. Yeah, look, Clark, I did a lot of reading up on the Bible when I worked with the homeless, because faith helped them. Robaha, Richard, just convert already. Robaha, you do realize that Jesus was a rabbi, okay? So, despite what Christians have done to pervert his words, there is wisdom to be found there. Rusty Dog, I even cuddle my dog. Yeah, I cuddle my cats all the time. Token Productions, we want to see that jar of sugar on the shelf. It's a wasp's nest. Phil S., if Oliver Hardy was a porn star, he would be called Oliver Hardon. Would he? I think I'd be called Dick Mighty. Wyatt Frazier, show us the jar. Do I have to do that every live stream, people? Paul has lost his mind. We got about 5 minutes left. I do these for about an hour. Dominic Turner, thoughts on the new movie Locked? 1 out of 10 for the trailer. I give the trailer a 6, actually. The movie looks pretty good. And there's fine craft in it, but the trailer gives us too much. Roboha, how close to monetization is this channel? 1,700 hours. Clark Kent, everyone judges. It is a matter of whether or not it is spiritual righteous judgment or a natural unrighteous judgment. Literal Trash said something racist. This is not a very popular live stream, by the way. Not a lot of people are tuning in. Ugh. But you know, where is the best place for the sinner? In the church. Because they're the ones that need to be there the most. You know, for those who are truly righteous, they don't need further counsel. Clark Kent, Jesus left no room for ambiguity. Christ said, whoever has seen me has seen God. Yeah, Clark, how much do you know about the Apocrypha? Literal Trash, bro, I told you yesterday the rabbi used to call me a nice Jewish young man. Yeah. Clark Kent, turn or burn. Unless you are born again, you cannot see the kingdom of heaven. Jesus Christ. Well, I have definitely seen the demons of hell, and they don't scare me. Hi, Richard, do you believe in God? Not really. I believe I have to save myself. Clark Kent, the true churches made for sick sinners who have turned away from their lifestyle of sin and turned God in faith and transformation and repentance. Clark, when somebody repents, their spirit is renewed, but their soul remains. Man cannot exist without sin. Rusty Dog, a blind rabbi performed a circumcision. He missed and got the sack. Volts. Yeah, what he said. What do you think happens after you die? Well, bad people go to my sister when they die. Robaha, can you... Okay, guys, what's happening over there? Knight, why are you yelling at Valentine? Knight, Volts, your sister. Yes, my sister's the devil. But what part of that do you not understand? Hugo, do you believe in the devil? I go, yeah, she lives in Chino. What do you think, Stormy? Clark Kent, the difference between a saint and a sinner is that the saint has been spiritually awakened and given power over sin to not sin anymore. A sinner is a slave to sin and spiritually dead. Eh. Alright, guys, last call. We've been here an hour. Valentine is probably going to go pee on something. Paul says he's God. Okay, so you know my sister then. Satan. Yes, Paul knows Satan. All right. Okay, guys. I have a lot of work to do and very little time to do it in, so I'm going to see you all later. I'm Richard.